Hello, good morning, guys.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, we'll get started. So we'll start with Excel today. Um, I'm launching my Excel file. So I had rebooted, so give me some time to connect. Yeah. Okay. So you should be able to see my Excel file. And idea is that for next few days, we will look at how to approach Excel or how to use Excel from data analysis perspective. Okay, so we'll look at analysis tool pack and things like that. And uh, the expectation is that you know a little bit of statistics. Okay, little bit of statistics knowledge will be helpful. Okay, so let's first see how do you add data to your Excel. Now, if you have to make any settings, you know where do you make any settings? You need to go to files and you see these options. Just have a look. Yeah. So, okay. Go to options, and when you click on options, you have lots and lots of options here. Okay. So you have general, formulae, okay, data, proofing. Proofing is for grammar check and things like the spelling, grammar. Okay, this is the saved property, language, okay, accessibility, advanced, okay. Most of us would use advanced and add-ins in our case here. But let's look at some general properties here. When you click on general, my system is still getting started. Yeah. So on general, you have, what all things should be displayed. Okay, the menu bar that needs to be displayed. How do you want it to look like? You want to collapse the ribbon, okay? Then use this as a default font. What is the default font? When you type, okay, what font should it appear? You don't like default one, so you can change it to the one that you want. Let's say I like this, I'll change it to this size, okay? Include this many sheets. So when you launch an Excel, okay, it says include only one sheet. So if you see here, it has only one sheet opened. If you want to open more than one, you can call that. You want to change your username to your name, you can change it to your name. So these are some of the general settings that you can do here. Okay, we'll be using formula for our work. So our workbook calculation is automatic. Okay. When you write a formula, automatically it should change. Maximum iteration is 100. We'll see what iteration means in some time. And yeah, you can read. These are all self-explanatory, but mostly about formula. When you type, automatically it should calculate and replace the formula with its value. That's what it means. Okay. So it says when automatic calculation is enabled, Excel recalculates the workbook automatically each time a value affecting a formula change. So it automatically creates a formula. Go to advanced. Okay. So what should happen when you press enter? Okay. So if you press enter, it should go to next cell. Is that? That's what it says. But if you wanted to move right, then you can say right here. Now, if I say right and if I hit enter, cursor will move to the right cell. Okay. So you can, based on your work, you can check it. Okay. You want to automatically add decimal. So you can say automatically add decimal point. Okay. So if you automatically add a decimal point, but you don't want decimal, let's say for some example, then you'll have to manually go and remove the decimal. Okay, right now we are not adding decimals. So when we have to add decimal, we manually have to go and add decimal. But if you say that, okay, add decimal automatically, then we will have to go and remove decimal when we don't want. Okay, so yeah, if you want to zoom, you can zoom on roll. This is useful when you are doing training, online training, so that you can see where the cursor is actually getting focused. Okay, yeah. So image size, quality. Okay. For printing, if you're printing a sheet, these are settings for that. Okay. Now let's go to add-ins. Okay. Now, add-ins are like special software which is added to your Excel. Okay. Ignore jump software. These are I added it later, but we will generally use analysis tool pack and solver added. Okay, by default, these will not be active and these will be in your inactive part here. Okay. So, you see, you have a power map for Excel, power pivot. Okay. So these Excels, these add-ins are like your extra software which is there, but not currently being used. So if you want to add, if you want to, um, make it active, you have to click on this one here. Okay. Excel add-in, and then you say go. Okay, font changes can take place. Okay, so we'll have to close the Excel and start, but that's okay. So when you say Excel add-ins go, it will open up a window here. So it tells you which add-ins are already available. The checked ones are already linked to my Excel, and I'll show you. Unchecked ones are not yet added to my Excel menu option. If you don't want it, leave it like that. If you want to, okay, at least solver and analysis tool pack, I want you all to check this. Okay, we'll be using, if not today, but at least from tomorrow, we'll be using it. Okay, and then you hit on okay. So if you see here under data, you see the right side here, top solver and data analysis. So these were not available and I added them to my Excel. Clear? So we will anyway.
Go to my options.
Option file. You hit on file and then options down below.
I don't have a file. There is some.
Oh, yours is Mac, right?
Yeah.
Mac has different setups. Okay, we'll see when we go there. Okay, maybe after the session, we'll do a little bit Google search and yeah, Excels are not very much compatible with the Microsoft thing, right? Okay, we'll see that anyways. Okay, so yes, so let's first create a sample data. Okay, I want to create some sample data. Now, let's think of a scenario. Okay, let's think of a scenario and we will try to collect data on that scenario. So let's say we talk about employees. Okay, we'll try to build the employees table, the one that we used for the SQL earlier, right? So let's say first thing is employee ID. Okay. Okay. First, let's say we build employee ID, correct? So I'll say EMP ID. Okay. So these are the columns. Now you see, if I hit enter, it's taking me to the right, but font is not changed. Font, to change the font, I need to restart my Excel. So you can see the font is different, obviously. Now I'll close my Excel. I will not save it and I'll restart another version of Excel. So let it come up. I'll share my screen. Yeah, it's ready. Now see, everything has turned into the new font here. If I say EMPID, see, it is different font. It is your Aptos or Atops. I don't remember, but yeah, that's the this thing. Now, okay. So first column we have EMPID. Then let's say we have name. Okay. What do you want to have next? Tell me column names.
Phone number,
Phone number. Okay.
mail ID,
Email. Okay.
date of joining,
Date of joining. Okay.
Location.
Look.
What
Okay.
position, like manager, designation, yeah, designation.
Okay.
Location, okay, location you have one. Okay.
Salary.
Salary.
Okay. Okay. So let's have these. Okay. And what we'll do is we will also see let me first save it. Okay. This I don't want to lose it. So for now, I'll save it on desktop itself. I'm going to say July Excel. Okay. So okay, so this sheet I'll rename as employee. Okay, and I'll create one more sheet here for location. Okay. Here you can't run those queries, right? So here I'll have LOC ID and I'll have location. Okay. And let me add some location ID, some random location ID. So now you see, I want to add, let's say 5 locations. Okay. So I'll say 1, 2, let's see here. So because I have set it to right, it is moving to the right. So location 1, I'll call it as Miyapur. This is on the table, right? Then location 2, location 3, location 4. Okay. So instead of typing 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, what I can do is I can use Excel to generate these numbers automatically. Okay. Now, if I put here 1, I mean, here 1, and then I select this cell and move my cursor to this bottom right corner. Okay. You will be able to see this plus sign. Now I drag it. So what happened? Okay, it is printing 1 in all the cells. Okay, because I put 1 and I'm dragging it. Okay, so this is your artificial intelligence which was built into Excel long back, right? It thinks that you're going to generate 1, 1, 1, but we don't want 1, 1, 1, right? We want 1, 2, 3. So we have to somehow indicate to Excel that no, I don't want to repeat the number, but I want to generate it, right? So you add some sample data. It's like this, right? If I ask you, okay, this is 1, what would be next number? You'll say 1, 1. But when I give you 1, 2, 3, then you select 1, 2, 3, all 3 cells together. Then go to bottom right, look at this plus, okay? Now, if you drag it, you see, it is generating series 1, 2, 3, 4. So, first 3 cells we need to fill in. First 3 cells we need to fill in, and that will tell it, okay, tell Excel what kind of logic you want to build, right? So for example, if I want to add day here. Now, if I use, say, Monday, okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay. Now, if I select and if I drag, you see this? It is able to generate Monday to Sunday, again Monday to Sunday, Monday to Sunday, because when we say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it understood that we are going to generate days, right? It understood that we're going to generate days, and then it started generating days. So there are some stuff which are inbuilt created. Okay. And we can also, we can also create these ourselves. Okay. But let's look at one more stuff. Okay. Let's say month, right? So I say Jan, I say Feb, I say March. Okay. And now if I select and drag, so you see, oh, don't know what happened to the, okay. Cursor scrolling has increased. How did that happen? Generally, when you press Control and do it, yeah, I think. Yeah. So you see this? This is able to generate Jan to December, Jan to December, and you can generate for thousands of such rows. Okay. This is your autofill option, we call it as. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, so I don't need Jan and Feb, right? So I'll remove it. And here I will go and I'll say, okay, 1 Miapur to Chandanagar, 3 Amirpet, say, okay. Then yeah, we
That's
don't
good.
Gachipoli. Okay, 40. Okay, we'll have just 6. Okay, so this is our location data, let's say. Okay, now let's come back to employee here. Okay, now we'll fill some data in the employee table. Okay, so I'll show you one more option here. When you go to file options, okay, and you go to advanced, okay, okay, in advanced, okay, I'll reset it to down, okay, because I'm not comfortable using right. Now, you see here, enable auto complete for cells, automatically flash fill. This is what we were doing. If this is checked, then it will automatically try to complete, and whatever, like when you're dragging it, before it printed, it showed you on the right what value it is generating. Okay, that is called automatically flash fill. Okay, now if you go here down somewhere, advanced general here. Okay, yeah, so you see here, advanced general, okay, and you see edit custom list. Okay, click on this. So what we just did, right, that is called custom list. Okay, you can add your own list. So these are default. Okay, now this is book genre which I added myself. Okay, so when I say self-help technical, it will start automatically printing management, storybooks, biography. I added cities here. Okay, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Patna. So what happens when if I type, even if I type Mumbai, Patna, it will put it in this order. Let's say if I type Mumbai, Patna, right? It will print Chennai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Patna, Chennai. Yeah, that's what it will do. Country. Let's say I've added this new country here. Okay, so it will start using this country. We saw Jan, Feb. We saw Monday, Tuesday. Okay, you have full spelling one also, right? you have week. If you want to create a new, okay, you say new list, and then you can give a list here. So what I'll do, I will create the location here. So Amirpet, say one more. Okay. Now I say add here. The moment I say add, see, this got added here. Now you say okay. Okay. So advanced, general option. You can close your Excel for now. Yeah. So advanced, where is general and edit custom list. Okay. And you say okay. Now let's go back to location. Okay. I'm going to delete this. Now I'm going to type Miapur. Okay. Okay. I'm going to call Miapur. Okay. Now if I drag it, see, it is actually showing me on the right side. So started from Miapur Koti, it will be in a cyclical order. Okay. Remember what was the first name that we gave there? Amirpet. But I'm using from Miapur. So it used same. It started with Miapur, Koti, Banjara Hills, Gachipoli, Begumpet, and then it went to Amirpet. So cyclical. So if I say Monday, if the date is from Monday to Sunday, if I start from Wednesday, it'll say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, in cyclical order, it will continue printing it. Okay. So this is how you can, let's say if you are using location multiple times, okay, then you can add your own custom list to this. So this is how you add custom list if required. Okay, so let's say I'll be using location multiple times. So I can create my own custom list. So this is how you create custom list. Okay, now coming to this one. Okay. Now employee ID, I'll start from, let's say 101. Let's say employee ID starts from 101. Okay, so I'll say 101, 102, 103. Okay, it knows, and now see, starts from 1045. It understood what I'm trying to do. Okay, so it generated employee ID automatically. And I have names also, added my own. You won't get it. Okay, you'll have to create your own custom list. But I've already created custom list for name. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this is again custom list. Now let's say this is, I'll put location ID. Okay, and then I'm going to get this location from other table. Okay, I'll shade it different color so that you know that this is not the actual data. This is coming from different table. Okay, now for salary, what I can do is, yeah, so let's create 2 column. Okay, I'll call this as basic salary, and I'll call this as bonus percentage. Bonus percentage is like how much bonus you get. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so name, we got it. Now phone number. Now phone number is 10 digit, right? And I don't have, let's say, patience to create my own phone number. So what I'll do, I will use formula. In Excel, you can use, Excel has lots and lots of thousands of formula. Okay, not thousand, but definitely hundreds of formula. Okay, so you can call those hundreds of formula using equal sign. The moment you say equal to, Excel knows that you're going to use some kind of formula. It could be as simple as adding 2 numbers, or it could be calling different functions. So there's something called as random. and you have something called as random between. So you have see random, rand array, and rand between. Rand, see Excel is so helpful, tells you returns a random number greater than 0 and less than 1. So it returns a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, that's rand. And then you have rand array. Random array returns an array of random numbers. So you give some numbers, it will pick 4 or 5 numbers out of those. And then random between. Okay, so this will, so you give a lower limit and higher limit, and it will pick the number between the lower and higher limit. So generally, okay, phone numbers are 10 digit, right? So I'll say rand between. And our number, let's suppose, number starts from 7, 4 5s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I have 7 followed by 9 times 5. And let's say it goes to 9 and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say number ranges from 7 5s to 9 5s between this and this. I hit enter. It will randomly generate some number between the range that we gave. Okay, since it's a 10 digit, you will get a valid looking number. And now I want the same formula to be applied all the rows below. So I will again go to the bottom right, plus sign, and just double click on it. Just double click on. Did I make any mistake? Because some numbers look small. Maybe it has lots of 1. That's why it looks small. If you count the digits right, it will be 10 in both. Okay, just because you have 1, right? 1 takes less space. That's why it looks like a smaller than this. But they are all 10 digits. You can count and see. So what I did, I wrote formula only in the first cell here. And then I went to this plus sign and double click. Just double click. So it will copy the entire formula in all the cell. Okay, how does it know how many cells it has to print? Why didn't it go to this one, this one? It looks to the left side. It sees how many values we have put here. If I had a value here, it would have added data here also. If we had valid only up to this row, it would have stopped here. Now let's say if you have empty here, and then you have some names. Okay. And then I go and double click on it. Okay, so it knows that, this one cell is empty, not that entire thing is empty. So it will go here when it knows that, yeah, there's nothing more to come. Okay, so let me put that name. Yeah. Now, since this is a formula, every time you make some changes, this formula would refresh itself. So I'm done with it. Okay, I don't want this formula to remain. So what I'll do, I will replace these values with the actual values. So I select, I'll say Control C. Okay, and when you go to paste, there are different options here. Okay, we'll look at some of these options as we go along. Then for now, let's look at paste values. So, okay, this is used to paste values. When you copy from one source to another source, you want this source linked to be there or not. In this case, I don't want formula to be there. I want formula to go away. Now, if you click on any cell, right? For example, if I click here, you don't get the number. You see the formula.
Good morning, Andi. Cheppandi.
Okay, so you only see the formula here. So I will copy this.
నేను 9 o'clock కి స్టార్ట్ అవుతానండి.
And I'll click on this first option, which is your paste as values. You see option saying values.
నేను యాక్చువల్గా క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను, సో అందుకని నేను ఇప్పుడు రాలేదు.
Values. Okay. Now you go and click on this. The formula is.
నేను లేదంటే ఒక్క నిమిషం ఒకసారి అడుగుతాను, ఆయన ఉన్నారో లేదో ఒక్క 2 minutes లో.
So formula is gone here, right? I have replaced the formula with the actual value. So now this value will remain as it is. Value will not change. Okay, I'll save it. Okay, so this is how you generate numbers. Okay, or generate number between a given range. Now let's talk about this email thing. Email, let's say all of these people work for a company called abc.com. So their email ID would be employee ID dot name at abc.com. Let's say that's the style. Okay. Employee ID dot name at the rate abc.com. So how do I get, how can I create? I don't have to manually go and say 101 dot, Rohit at abc.com. Okay. I want to use this, but I can't keep going and typing. Like if I have 100, 500,000, I don't have time to do all those things, right? So I can use again the formula. I'll say equal to, because I'm using a formula. Equal to what? Equal to, first we said EMP-ID, correct? Now I need to concatenate. So the way to concatenate data here is to add ampersand. Okay, so I'm taking employee ID, concatenate with dot, right? First dot. So dot is a text. You put it in a quotation. So it takes A2. A2 is the reference. Now see, every Excel cell is referenced by row number and column number. Row number is 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Column is A, B, C, D. Okay, so this particular value is referenced as A2. So A2 means 101. And the rate dot, again concatenate what? Name. So if name is there in a column, it doesn't matter whether it is number or text. But when you are adding text, you have to give quotation. Okay, done. Then again, I have to add what? At the rate abc.com. A2 dot B2 at the rate abc.com. Let's see if it works. See, it works. Now, names can be in uppercase, lowercase, right? But I don't want this name to be in uppercase. Okay, so you can apply another formula on it. So I don't remember what's the formula for lowercase. Let me put lower. So see, the moment I put lower, it tells me suggestions. Okay, I put LOW. So all the formula that starts with LOW. In random, I put RAN. Everything that started with RAN, it displayed rand array, rand between. Here, okay, so it converts everything to lowercase. So I click on lower. And then I will put a bracket around this. So A2 and the rate at the ampersand, A2 ampersand dot ampersand lower of B2 ampersand at the rate abc.com. Now you see, you got your email as what you want. Now I want the same logic to be applied over all of these values. Okay, so I'll go here again, bottom right, plus sign, double click. Automatically, it populated all the other values. Okay, so I got this data. Now, I used A2 and B2, right? How did it change to A3, B3? How did it change to A4, B4 automatically? Right? I used A2, B2 here, right? But the moment I hit, you can change your chair like that. Okay. The moment I, added this and created this, I hit on this plus sign, the reference, see, it is intelligent enough to change the reference. From A2, it went to A3. From A3, it went to A4, right? This is called a reference position. Okay. This is called reference position. Now, okay. So here it is A2 and B2. Now tell me, if I move, you are at B5, let's say, okay. It's a question, nothing to do with the data that we have. Let's say you are at B5. You take 2 steps to the right. Where will you reach? You are at B5. B for book. You are at B5 and you take 2 steps to the right. So what's your new position now?
D5.
Right? D5.
Yes.
Okay. So because when you move to the right, your alphabets will increase. Correct? So B becomes C becomes D. Now, if you are at D5 now, you take 3 steps upward. where will you reach?
D2.
D2, right? Because you are in the same column, you are moving. So same reference is used here. You are at A2. If I move one step down, where will you reach? A3. That's why it changes to A3. You move one more step down, you reach A4. If I had call it as A10, for example, if I said, okay, A10. So if I take A10, and then if I move down, where will you reach? A11. So if I copy this formula again, you see it became A11. So it looks at the current value, reference. This is reference, okay? A2 is not a value. How do you know it's A2 is not a value or A11 is not a value? It's a reference. How do you know it's not a value? It can be a value also, right?
Non-quotation.
It's not in quotation. Text data will always be in quotation. So it's not in quotation. That's why Excel knows that it is not a value, but it's a reference. Okay. So I put A10. If I go down, it becomes A11, A12, A13. You know, here it becomes A16, but we don't have any value for 16. That's why you see it put a blank here. Okay. So I go here and I say A2. Okay. Same thing with B2 also. Because we are going down, it knows what value to do it. But there will be some cases, okay, there will be some cases, and those cases are quite often where as I go down, I don't want to change the formula. I want to lock the reference. How do you lock the reference?
Quotation.
No. So we use dollar sign. Dollar sign is used to lock the reference. Now, let's say you have here, if I move to right, okay, without using dollar, if I move right, what will happen? So now what happened? It is A2 and B2. When you move to the right, it becomes B2 and C2. You're moving to the right, correct? Your column reference will change. So see, it is A2 and B2. Now when I moved right, it became B2 and
C2.
if I move again further right, it would become
C2 and D2.
C2 and D2, right? So your reference can move in all four directions. Okay, it can move in all four directions. Now, if I delete all this, let's say I hit here and I say copy. I say copy. And I go here. Let's say here. And I say Control V. By default, what it did is it copied the reference, not the value. That's why when we were changing the formula here, we said paste as values. Okay. Now, what I did, I copied this cell here, D2. I copied D2 cell and I went to H5. So what I did, I went 4 steps to the right, correct? E, F, G, H. 4 steps to the right and I went 3 steps below. 4 to the right, 3 steps below. So A2, 4 steps to the right would become, no,
Values.
A2 will become F, right? Okay, E, sorry. 4 steps. So you are at A. So A 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
E5 and F5.
Yes, E5 and F5. So it is, so this is called copying as reference. Okay. But if I go here, Control C, and I go here and I go to paste and I select paste as values. So now it pasted as value, same value, not the reference. Okay. So there are multiple types of paste. Okay. Paste as values, paste as reference. Sometimes you need reference, sometimes you don't need reference. So be careful when you need, when you don't. Now coming back here, I want to lock it. Now you can see, right? If I copy and move anywhere, it will count the reference. Okay. Oh, you're moving 5 steps to the right, or you're moving 2 steps to the left. Okay. Left, right, up, down, all 4 directions are counted. Now, what was saying? I want to lock it, right? So I will, if you want to lock it, if you want to lock the entire value, you go here and you put dollar sign. Okay. Dollar sign. So if I put dollar before A, that means I'm locking only A, not 2. Okay. So now if I select and if I double click on it, so what happened? Okay, A is locked. but number is not locked. So still it's working. Okay, still it's working. Why? I locked only A, right? So see $A, $A, but number I have not locked. So number is still increasing. Now if I move to the right, what will happen? It is still, okay, 101 because I have locked A. A is supposed to change when you move to the right. A should become B, but it is not becoming B because I have locked A. So it is still A2 only. It is still A2 only. Okay, it will remain A2 only because I have locked A. A will not change. Now, if I go and I lock 2 also, so I'll put shift $, right? Now, if I move, okay, now you see 101, 101. Why? Because I have locked both A and 2. So it remains A and 2, A and 2, A and 2, A and 2. Okay, if I move right, also it will remain same because I have locked A2. So this is how you can lock. In this case, I don't need to lock. Some cases, of course, you will have to lock. Okay. Now you have function F4. Function F4 is shortcut for adding $sign. So if I go here, I press function, I'm pressing function, and I'm pressing F4 now. So see, it added $. Here. If I press one more time, it put $, in the number, not in the this one. If I put again, now you have $, on the A, not on the 2. If I press again, $, is removed. So, you know, you manually go and add $sign, or you can use function F4, select this and function F4. It will automatically give you those 3-4 options. Okay. So I go here, it is okay, and I double click on it. Okay, this is what I want in this case. I don't want to lock it. Okay, so we don't lock it. Okay, we'll stop here for today. And we are not meeting tomorrow. We'll meet on Monday. We'll continue working on other columns also. Okay,
Okay.
we'll see how to generate these values and then we go deeper into analysis. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
see you tomorrow, guys. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
not tomorrow, Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, Hari.